Today's Cowboys mailbag is made possible by Manscaped. 20% off and free shipping on everything when you use promo code Cowboys over at manscaped.com. It's tax season here in the U.S., and that means Manscaped is here to make sure your paperwork is done and your boys downstairs are having fun. I'll tell you all about them later on in today's show. It's a mailbag. The first question, comment, really, coming in from TKG. Tom, I'm thankful the OBJ drama is over. So having to go to the Eagles, F Chugs. It's a one-year deal. Something tells me next year we'll be doing the exact same thing once again, but it is done at least for about a year. Jeremy Chugs' burner. Can you see the Cowboys trading their picks for a player on draft day? Maybe some day 3 picks. I don't foresee anything early round being moved, and they did already add players via those picks later on. They moved on from the likes of they got Brandon Cooks, they got Saul Gilmore, so they did already do those types of moves. Maybe there's one more left in the tank, but I think it's mostly going to be picks. Ryan Dixon Carroll, Matt Landers in round 6. Dude is a sleeper. That is the wide receiver out of Arkansas. I got the athletic testing here for you guys, and this is why it's sleeper stuff here. Now he is older, 24 as a rookie. 900 yards this past year, 6'4", 200 pounds, 4.3, 740-yard dash. Big size, big athletic ability. The lack of special teams value might bring him down because you're looking at a sleeper project to help you in that area. But I think sleeper is a fair way to describe him because that athletic ability, super appealing. From Christian Hodgins, traded for a player like Peter Skoronski or Jalen Carter. Depends on how far they slide. I don't want to get in the top 10 to get one of those guys because it's such a prohibitive cost that it's like a guard or a DT might not, especially an off-the-field concern DT, and I think I would be a guard for you, kind of raises some red flags. Now, if they slide a bit further, I would consider you'd probably have to move the 2 at that stage to go get one of those guys, but you're getting a guy that's probably top 5-ish on your board, which I do think carries a lot of value from that standpoint. So do you want to move up in the top 15, whether it's for a Skoronski, a Carter, or any of the top falling prospects who could, in the CeeDee Lamb scenario, get outside that top 10 range for you? It's the pinned comment on today's video. So if the ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there, type in Y for yes, N for no. Roger Moore, who are some Oregon guys that you like and what round? The immediate one for me that stands out, Christian Gonzalez is going to be a star. I love him. He's going to be a top 10 pick probably, so cross that off for whenever. Noah Sewell out of Oregon is the linebacker. I think he could be a potential 3rd, 4th round pick, somewhere in that range. And then other one that stands out to me is DJ Johnson, who's kind of an upside edge rusher, is probably a day 3 pick. Maybe the center Alex Forsyth gets drafted. That's kind of it. It's not the best class from Oregon given other years in the past. John Camus, however you pronounce it. I'm not entirely sure there. Are you familiar with Killian Zierer, who is the Auburn offensive tackle, and Lorenz Metz, Cincinnati? I'm familiar with Zierer a little bit, not so much Mentz from the Bearcats, at least not yet. Killian's probably not going to get drafted. Maybe he sneaks into the back end of the 7th round, but both from Germany. They changed the rules, I think, with how the International Player Pathway Program tends to work. Maybe you'll get lucky and they'll change the rules for those guys, but I think they're going to be kind of UDFAs in the end. Now, today's Cow Report is made possible by Manscaped. If you didn't already know, it is tax season here in the U.S., and that means it's time for Manscaped to help make sure your paperwork is done and your boys downstairs are having fun. Make sure you spend your tax return money on the important things here like family, friends, and ball deodorant. Join the 8 million men who trust Manscaped by going to manscaped.com. 20% off and free shipping when you use promo code Cowboys. There's no better way to invest your tax return than back into yourself, and Manscaped has the full package from head to toe to make sure you get your money's worth this April. The Performance Package is the ultimate bundle for two Reinvent yourself and boost your confidence. 20% off and free shipping with promo code Cowboys at manscaped.com. Don't just get your money back this year. Get your swagger back as well with Manscaped. Promo code Cowboys at manscaped.com. Add information to the comments section and the description of today's show. Daniel Moriarty, I think we still got to get DeAndre Hopkins somehow because you know how Gallup is going to fare in 2023 after coming off the ACL in 2022. The lack of interest in DeAndre Hopkins across the board, including Dallas, is really weird to me. Like the Ravens, they spend $15 million on OBJ, but wouldn't spend $20 on Hopkins. Like, I don't think the interest is weird and makes me wonder if the NFL think Hopkins is almost done. I get he's costing $20 million. I don't think he's going to take a massive pay cut like Cooks was going to. But if the cost is super cheap, I still have some interest, yeah. DeLunatic, how far back in the first do you feel comfortable trading back and still going to plug-and-play left guard? I think you have to be I think the ideal outcome every year is you trade down and get your guy, right? That's what everyone wants to do, get more assets. The problem is every team wants to do that. And I think if you move down, if both Avila and Torrance are there, I feel a bit better. But I could also see a scenario in which, like, the Bills, Bengals, or Saints take a guard. I think the real issue is if you move out of round one, Houston, Arizona, Indy, LA, Seattle, Vegas, Carolina, Tennessee, all those teams are in desperate need of guard, well, varying levels of need, I suppose. I don't think you move that far down because I think there might be a run on guards early if they don't go in the first round. Brokov, Darius Russian, round 3. He's freakishly athletic. It's a great candidate in the third round. I don't know if he gets there. We'll find out. I think Dan Quinn could maximize him. So that's the cornerback from South Carolina. I always forget the school there. I think got the player right there, Brokov. Name a player you want the Yacht Boys to go trade for this offseason. Drop that player name for me in the comments section. Alan Schroeder, think about Deuce Vaughn in the 4th or 5th round. I know he's smaller but tough as nails. Darren Sproles' clone, quick, shifty, can catch the ball and injury prone. He's somehow shorter Darren Sproles, which does exist. It'll be one of the smallest players ever in the NFL. But I think got the player right. I don't know if he's overly fast, but he does offer third down value. He hasn't missed time despite getting a fairly big workload and being small. He is pretty quick. 4th or 5th round, I love it. I'm a big fan of Deuce Vaughn. I would say few teams have a better feel for Deuce Vaughn than Dallas. Remember, his dad is a Cowboys scout. JND, who's the one player you absolutely want the Cowboys to draft that is going to be a steal? It's a good question. I think... I'm a big Darnell Washington fan, but you probably got to take him in round 1, so that kind of rules that one out. If you're looking more in the day 3 range at the sleeper grouping, there's a lot of guys I haven't gotten to yet. I think that Charlie Jones kid from Purdue, the wide receiver, bit of a one-year wonder. Super intrigued by him at the fun skill spot. I'll put it this way. Whatever back, if you draft one in the 4th round, probably him. This running back class is insanely deep. I think Roshan Johnson has upside in that round if he gets there. Like, there will be some great backs in the 4th round for you. Now, we are live on Mondays, daily videos as well. If you want to join the mailbags, well, they're filmed on Monday as part of our live show. So make sure you guys are subscribed. YouTube.com/@CowboysTV. Dash XL, do we trade back and draft Steve Avila? If you trade down, I think that's a great argument. I would wonder if the Cowboys go, they like their 5th-year option. I'm unconvinced they want to move on from missing out on that potential value that they see. I'm not as committed to it, but that sounds kind of like they are there. I think Avila's a prime option in the 1st round. It's the safe option. Plug and play at left guard, offers some positional flex, checks a lot of the boxes there. Red Hurricane, how would you feel about Tyreek Stevenson in round 2? I'm totally not biased towards him. I would have been a lot more intrigued if you didn't trade for Stephon Gilmore. We put him in, or we almost put him in there in the fan-led mock draft in round 2. So I think that's in about the right range. Is there going to be a better player at maybe a bigger need for you? I would not be mad, though, with Tyreek Stevenson in round 2. Drew Holland, sign Leonard Fournette. Oh, but why? Fournette wasn't good last year. He does offer some third down value, but you're talking about a player who averaged Ezekiel Elliott yards per carry. Is the O-line to blame? At least partially in Tampa, sure. I would rather draft somebody than I would be to throw a couple $1 million at Fournette, who I'm worried is kind of out of gas at this point. The free agency market is pretty mediocre, and I doubt you'll see that many guys sign between now and the draft because at this point, wait and see if a team gets a bit more desperate there. Are there any free agents left that you guys want to sign? Sound off in the comments section. From Ben Loving, what happens to Cooks Gallup if we draft Johnston, Addison, JSN, Hyatt? You probably rotate receivers a bit more heavily than maybe you would have planned to initially. I would bet one of those guys, Cooks or Gallup, might be gone next year. Gives you added depth. I think Tolbert's kind of like in a rough spot of, well, now what do I do? But drafting a receiver, I think, is in the cards for Dallas early. It just depends on how the board falls, right?